Hey beauty, turmeric has many names. In Sanskrit, it has at least 53 different names. My favorite is one that wins over diseases. Turmeric is one of those plants, one of those spices that is really super healthy for us. So today we're going to talk about turmeric and spices. Before we get into the show, I wanted to remind you of my free gift for you. Holistically Healthy Woman, 4 Steps to Move Away from Modern Medicine for Christians. For this free guide, go to herholistichealing.com/free. Enter your email. This guide, it will be super helpful for you if you even put one or two things into practice. This can really help your health in a huge way. So go to herholistichealing.com/free. With all that being said, let's get into the show. Welcome to Her Holistic Healing. Do you want to move away from modern medicine and learn healthier alternatives for your family? Do you want a healthy body? Do you want to live the life that God intended you to live? Hey, I'm Alexandra. I love Jesus. I'm a wife, mom of 3, author, and registered nurse with years of experience in clinical research. When I started experiencing chronic health issues, I was confused about all the different diets and conflicting opinions. I felt anxious because I couldn't solve the mystery of my health until God showed me that He is the source of true healing. In this podcast, you will learn Bible truths and holistic treatments that will help you to stop relying on pharmaceuticals. You can experience true lasting healing that will allow you to make a greater eternal impact in your home and community. So what do you say we take a break from the mind-numbing humdrum busyness? Let's rest and let God be our healer and helper. I was searching for information about turmeric on PubMed.gov. I found this chapter of a book. It's chapter 13, Turmeric, the Golden Spice. This comes from the book Herbal Medicine, Biomolecular and Clinical Aspects, the second edition. This book has a lot of good information in it, so I'm just going to read to you a little bit about turmeric from this book. It is a plant that has a very long history of medicinal use dating back nearly 4,000 years. In Sanskrit, turmeric has at least 53 different names. So in Sanskrit, it's been called gives delight to heart, calming. It's been called which cures fevers. It's been called killer of worms. It's been called prosperity, killer of fat, enhancer of body complexion, killer of poison. In Sanskrit, it's also called one that wins over diseases. The chapter of this book is filled with different things that turmeric has been used for throughout the years and also in modern medicine today. So turmeric is used as an herbal medicine for rheumatoid arthritis, conjunctivitis, skin cancer, smallpox, chickenpox, wound healing, urinary tract infections, liver ailments. It's also used for digestive disorders to reduce flatus, jaundice, menstrual difficulties, and colic, abdominal pain and distension, loss of appetite, feelings of fullness, liver and gallbladder complaints. It has anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial actions. It's used as a treatment of inflammatory bowel disease, colon cancer. In folk medicine, it's been used throughout the world. In Ayurvedic practices, turmeric is thought to have many medicinal properties, including strengthening the overall energy of the body, relieving gas, dispelling worms, improving digestion, regulating menstruation, dissolving gallstones, and relieving arthritis. Many South Asian countries use it as an antiseptic for cuts, burns, and bruises, as an antibacterial agent. In Pakistan and Afghanistan, turmeric is used to cleanse wounds and stimulate their recovery by applying it on a piece of burnt cloth that is placed over a wound. It's also used to purify blood and remedy skin conditions. In India, turmeric paste is used by women in some parts of India to remove superfluous hair. Turmeric paste is applied to the skin of the bride and groom before marriage in some parts of India. It is believed to make the skin glow and keep harmful bacteria away from the body. In Ayurvedic medicine, turmeric is a well-documented treatment for respiratory conditions like asthma, bronchial hyperactivity, and allergy, as well as for liver disorders, anorexia, rheumatism, diabetic wounds, runny nose, cough, and sinusitis. In traditional Chinese medicine, it is used to treat diseases associated with abdominal pain. From ancient times, it has been used to treat sprains and swelling. Turmeric is a household remedy that has been known to be safe for centuries. To date, no studies in either animals or humans have discovered any toxic effects associated with the use of turmeric, and it is clear that turmeric is not toxic even at very high doses. The FDA has declared turmeric and its active component curcumin as generally regarded as safe. So as you can see, there are so many uses for turmeric. I didn't even read everything that I found to be interesting. I tried taking turmeric when I was experiencing a lot of inflammation because turmeric is really good for inflammation. For me, at the time, I was taking a lot of other supplements, so honestly, I didn't really feel like it helped me that much. Although it was hard to tell, like I say in my book, every body is different, so every body is going to react differently to turmeric, just like every body would react differently to any other type of food or any other type of supplement. I will say that my husband has taken turmeric not too many times, but he's taken it every now and then, and he says that it's really helpful for his joints. I've read that black pepper helps somehow to activate the turmeric. So if you're going to take a turmeric supplement, I recommend that you take turmeric and basically a formulation that contains black pepper and turmeric. You can also drink it as a tea. I've never tried that, but that's another option. In my opinion, turmeric on its own does not have the best taste, but when I'm cooking chicken, I have a couple of chicken recipes that have turmeric, coconut milk, and pepper, and they are really delicious. So, of course, you can search for recipes that have turmeric in them. I was thinking about different spices in the Bible. I did a search for the word spice, and spices were worth a lot. It seems like spices were worth a lot in biblical times. First Kings 10:10, it talks about Queen of Sheba giving gifts to King Solomon. It says in First Kings 10:10, then she gave the king 120 talents of gold and a very great quantity of spices and precious stones. Never again came such an abundance of spices as these that the Queen of Sheba gave to King Solomon. Then again in First Kings chapter 10, starting in verse 23, thus King Solomon excelled all the kings of the earth in riches and in wisdom, and the whole earth sought the presence of Solomon to hear his wisdom, which God had put into his mind. Every one of them brought his present articles of silver and gold, garments, myrrh, spices, horses, and mules, so much year by year. Second Kings 20:13 says, and Hezekiah welcomed them, and he showed them all his treasure house, the silver, the gold, the spices, the precious oil, his armory, all that was found in his storehouses. There was nothing in his house or in all his realm that Hezekiah did not show them. And Esther 2:12, now when the turn came for each young woman to go into King Ahasuerus after being 12 months under the regulations for the women, since this was the regular period of their beautifying, 6 months with oil of myrrh and 6 months with spices and ointments for women, when the young woman went in to the king. In this way she was given whatever she desired to take with her from the harem to the king's palace. Ezekiel 27:22, the traders of Sheba and Ramah traded with you. They exchanged for your wares the best of all kinds of spices and all precious stones and gold. If you notice, in each one of these passages, they're talking about people bringing gifts of gold and silver, myrrh, mules, and they also list spices. Spices not only taste good, they are used for medicinal purposes. Whenever I talk about food or spices or healing herbs, it just makes me think how good of a provider that we have. God provided all of these wonderful herbs and spices for our enjoyment and for our health. Unfortunately, the world is full of toxins, many supplements on the market, plants, essential oils, things like that can be adulterated. But if we can find plants in their purest forms, it's such a blessing because back in biblical times there were no cars or planes, but now really we have access to so many wonderful healing herbs, healing spices, these wonderful tools from all around the world. I remember when I was pregnant with all three of my kids, I had really bad morning sickness for the first 3 or 4 months. With my third baby, after I got over the nausea and vomiting of the first trimester, I remember I really craved Indian food. I really wanted to eat Indian food and Thai food. And I think it's because Thai food and Indian food, they're just so rich. There's just so much flavor. When women are pregnant, they need salt, electrolytes, they need enough vitamins. I'm just guessing that my body was craving more salt and really good spices. So if you're trying to get healthy, how about let's not think so much about what we quote can't eat. Let's think about all the delicious spices that we can put into our foods that can help us get better. Foods, spices that can help us heal. Because God is truly best father, a good father, a faithful father, and he definitely provided these wonderful spices, healing foods, and herbs for our health. Not just for our health, but for our enjoyment. So, for your action step for today, if you're willing, maybe find a new recipe that has turmeric in it. If you don't like turmeric, maybe try looking for a recipe with curry powder, or with cinnamon, or clove, or rosemary, or basil, or oregano, or thyme. There are just so many delicious spices that are so healthy for you. So go ahead and try out a new recipe with a delicious, healthy spice. Before I go, if you've been listening to this show for a while, if you enjoy this show, if you learn something from this show, I would really appreciate if you would leave me a review wherever you listen to the podcast and or share this episode with a friend. I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for listening today. If you like what you heard, would you take a minute to leave the show a review? If you want to connect with me, you can join me in my free community. The link is in the show notes, or go to herholistichealing.com. Matthew 11. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls.
For you, it's easy and my burden is light.
This content is for informational purposes only and is not meant to be medical advice.